Alrighty, first position. I'm looking to play Beast or Paul today. Kind of had a craving to play Beast because I was watching a new show called Pluribus. It's a Vince Gilligan show with Rhea Seehorn, and the character writes really bad smut romance novels for old women, and the protagonist of her books is named Raban, which I thought was kind of a. When I think of Raban, I don't think of a juicy hunk. I think of a kind of a gross, dim-witted enforcer for the Harkonnens. So I thought, you know what? I haven't played Beast in a while. Maybe I'll play Beast. And Paul, I don't know, man. Paul's tough. Anyway, Chimerky Artillery and Detonation Devices. Armand is gone. Detonation Devices is a bit of a Beast hint, but Beast is taken, so we're really left with some rough character. Oh, there's some pretty good Talaxu cards, but the Imperium row is not that good. Eliza is okay. The problem is there's not really good graft for her available. Memnon is okay. I think I'm just going to try to go Paul and see if I can't get the scientific breakthrough. Extra card draw is really the best way to try to maximize on this variable. So, the combat is objectively pretty good. I don't think it's worth hardying because Raban's in the game. The hand we have is pretty decent. However, we have no experimentations, and we're going to need to draw one if we want to... Okay, so that was wrong. I think I should have gone Fold Space first action. The problem with that is it yields round 2 Swordmaster to Beast, but if we go Fold Space first action, depending on Beast's hand, if we land Hardy Warriors, we could get round 2 Interstellar. So I think that would have been the overall better play. Oh well. Oh well. So what should we do instead? Because Beast went Carthag. He went Carthag and then didn't deploy, which is kind of weird. Well, we could go Hardy still. Or we could go Wealth. Going Wealth is like kind of weird because we're just not gonna... We're just not gonna really... I don't know. The problem with going Wealth is that it forfeits the ability to be a part of the combat. What about Still Suits? Well, Still Suits is fine. We can participate, but everyone else has actions, and we know we're not going ahead of Leto. So depending on what Armand does, we may not get anything at all, and it costs us troops to go into the combat. Whereas Wealth gives us the 2 Solar without having us spend troops at all. So I wonder if Wealth is better than Still Suits in this regard. I mean, the water is a big bonus. It basically relies on Armand not getting in the combat. I think with a dagger, we are somewhat safe to try that out. Let's put in 2 daggers. That's 5. So that means that basically, like, let's say Raban tries to bump us by going Arakeen. Okay, if he does that, then now there's not a spot for Armand to go to actually take the combat from us. So I think this is an okay play. The 3 Solari will be nice. And then, like, if... Well, I don't know. Maybe it's not good to spend your troops on Solari. I'm kind of mixed minds about that. We don't have any good cards available. I mean, don't get me wrong. Duncan and CGA are, like, not horrible. I don't think Duncan's very good. He's not horrible. But I think Helena and Eliza are the 2 leaders that can can pick this card and not feel bad about it. That does not include Paul. Problem is, Raban has 4 troops in garrison now, so yeah. And like, if he has a combat card, I don't think he would use it here, but he could leave me with holding nothing, basically. So the question is, would we detonate here? Because I have to think there's something better than the GCA. Although the GCA, if we could draw it next round, could be extremely valuable. So I actually would not detonate here, because just having the ability to get back to smuggling with her could be extremely useful. Now, buying that does reduce the odds that we redraw the experimentation, but I'm not too worried about that. He has 2 daggers. Actually buys the Duncan, which is interesting. So that's going to be him leaning further into combats, but probably being worse than everything else. If I'm Armand here, I'd probably detonate. 5 is definitely like a value card, persuasion amount, yeah. And getting Esmar is incredible for him, so that was the right call. If I had detonated, I would have gotten Throne Room Politics, which is a better long-term card than the GCA, but it's potentially not as good in rounds like 2 and 3. Pretty useful cards here as well. Tiebreak. Oh. Explains why I only put 1 troop in. He had 2 daggers and a tiebreaker. Not good for me at all. I mean, it's true that I do have 2 water still. Redraw Signet Ring with experimentation on top. So we do end up getting to the scientific breakthrough, but we fall short of the GCA. The tricky thing for us is there's 4 Solari going out as part of this combat. If Leto doesn't hit smuggling, we could actually be in a decent spot here. Although it's slow. Would we be better off going up here, actually? I mean, if we're not getting the Swordmaster this round, the answer, I think, is maybe. Maybe yes. And certainly if smuggling is available, we take it, because we need to play our experimentations. What if we went Research Station? That potentially... If we go with Signet Ring, we draw 3. So there's a greater than 50% chance that we draw a GCA. We take Smuggling. So what's our play here? Well, I don't think we want to Conspire. I think we want to Wealth to Research Station. But the thing is, if we can get second in the combat, like, it doesn't... Okay, here's what I'm thinking. Let's open Research Station and see if we can't get Wealth afterwards if we don't place in the combat. Cool. We got the GCA. Got to 8 Persuasion, too. It's kind of nice. Dagger in hand. Raban has Artillery. That's why he had so much in that combat. So Wealth is taken. It's pretty frustrating. Armand presumably buys the Shifting. He's off to the races. We know we're coming second to Raban, and we're coming ahead of Armand. So either way, we should have Swordmaster next round. I think. At 8 here, do we detonate? Because like, these cards are fine, but not amazing. But we actually still have an agent, so we need to think about what we're doing with it. If our plan is to buy the breakthrough, then we probably ought to play an experimentation to get that started. Problem is, there's not really... Okay, so we're guaranteed second here at this point. So we've got this. We've got the Swordmaster. Given that fact, what do we want to do? Probably... I mean, the experimentation is pretty weak overall, to be honest. I think going to Secrets is better. It's half a point, and the Intrigue card could be valuable. It's not, but it could have been. So we're running into a problem here, and the Beast is going to start snowballing combats pretty soon. Negotiate Withdraw is good. I don't know. I mean, I think Reverend Mother is good enough to buy here. Phone Room Politics is also good. Maybe better. I think since we have the private army, that does change our calculation a little bit more in a pro-Mother direction. I mean, there's an argument for slurping. It's not what I want to do right now. Let's take Reverend Mother. There's a lot of other BG stuff out there right now. And getting 2 Spice on reveal and a 2 Persuasion card is pretty good. So round 3 Swordmaster is not especially fast. Given how Paul seems to work in this expansion, I expect that we're currently on track to lose. But we'll see. We'll have to ask ourselves later down the road if that research station was worth it. We got a research out of it. We got some deck cycling. I don't know. We're probably not playing the breakthrough this round. Interesting purchase. Wait, he didn't buy Deado, he bought troop transports. Okay, it's not so interesting. That's pretty obvious. Right now my money's on Armand, but I think Beast is in a good position too. I'm clearly the furthest behind. And that can change, but probably won't. So presumably he takes money. Maybe not. But he's 1 off, so he probably still will. I don't know. He's kind of an awkward Swordmaster time spot. So right now nobody has the money to actually take Swordmaster from us, so we could just go do something else. Hell, we could actually Mentat here, and we know that we're still going to be able to have an access to Swordmaster because Breakthrough's on top, which is pretty convenient. Beast goes to 7, but that's not enough. They don't have Intrigue cards, so I know they can't jump ahead of me. So, yeah, let's Mentat. That'll let us play the breakthrough this round. We still have faction in hand after that. Now that Armand has troop transports, we're going to need to make sure that somebody besides Leto is able to stop him on the track. So maybe I'm better off taking, like, GCA to Fold Space first. Drop Reconnaissance. Trash Reconnaissance. And then I can still go Mentat after that. Or, if they accumulate the Solari they need, I can just go Swordmaster. But if I do that, then I don't get to play the Scientific Breakthrough. What is there to wait on here, man? Come on. I think it's fine. It's not like Armand is going back to full space. So let's just do this. Okay, experimentation on top. He's going for High Council is very interesting. He's going for the aggro strategy. That blunts a little bit of his momentum, and I'm a little surprised to see him do that. If he had gone smuggling, then he could deny Armand Swordmaster next round, which seems like the overall better strategy, since Armand is his competition, but I don't know exactly what he's going for. And then, like... I don't know exactly what's going on here. So wait, what did he do instead? Hog a Basin? That probably makes sense. You've got an Esmar in hand. Although I still think smuggling probably was better for him. Let's... So they still don't have 8, so we actually don't have to scientific breakthrough this action either. So let's do this. Drop the recon to trash the recon. So Beast is going to win the combat because he wouldn't have hardied there if he didn't have the daggers, I think. Which again is pretty concerning. Four is kind of a good number to reveal at. We're not going to get there. We don't have the spice. But yeah, I mean, obviously, Raban has at least 2 daggers in hand. He probably has his sister. Maybe Leto has a card. I don't think he does, but maybe. It wouldn't be bad to have that. It's got a dagger on it, so we might want to keep it away from Raban. Okay. This path gets us more reliably the breakthrough, and we don't have a ton of Fremen access right now, so but we do have spice from Reverend Mother, so let's go Scarabs. Jesus. This is gonna be a problem. Well, since we said we had an issue with water access, maybe best just to go to Still Suits here. 2 Solari's okay. I guess it would let us mint out with this hand. Haga Basin is taken. Let's get Siege Tabor online. I think that's fairly important. And I'll go ahead and buy the Spy. Actually, we've done the most research of anybody, technically. We could go this direction and get a trash, potentially. I wonder if Leto's going to let us have the Imperial Basin next round. He's already at 2 combat points, and he's probably going to start racking up more. So we all need to start coming up with a plan for this. It's true that we can outmaneuver him a little bit because he only has 2 agents, but it's... I don't know. I don't know, man. This is concerning. Okay, so the good news is Armand gets denied Interstellar. Bad news is that means that Raban probably wins yet another combat because he's not going to have troop transports. Although Armand does have Highliner Spice, I don't know if he has the access. And having to go to Highliner just to win a round 4 combat is not great. So yeah, we could trash the dagger from discard. I think having the intrigue might be better, especially because, well, I guess these paths are equally fast, right? Because we get one speed bump either way. So let's do this because it's got a little bit more. Well, I don't know. Is it more value though? Like the daggers are pretty bad. I'm gonna do it. Maybe the intrigue card can guide our planning. Okay, made the wrong decision, I guess. But you know, who was to guess that we were gonna draw the worst cards in the game? He's only putting 1 troop in because he's just like, yeah. I mean, I'm just gonna reveal more daggers. He doesn't have Duncan this time, at least. I want to go to Airkeen, but I don't want to feed the troll, you know? I guess the argument for going to Airkeen is like, I do have enough spice to private army, which may end up being needed to prevent him from winning the combat. Maybe it's probably just better to go to Siege Tabor, actually. Because Siege Tabor allows me to hit Great Flat, unless Beast does. Well, there was an if, wasn't there? Or an unless, I suppose. And now with a second troop, and I don't think I can beat him. I mean, maybe. I don't know. We're at 3 plus we're at 8, but he's gonna have 2 daggers in hand. I'm pretty confident of it. Smuggling is taken. Yikes. Okay, what about a tech? If we buy Chimurki, we still use Reverend Mother to get to private army levels. It's not great for our spice in the long term. But those 2 intrigue cards could help us quite a lot. I think we do it now because we want the opulence. Unless Raban gets it. But if Raban gets it, then we're kind of screwed either way. Just a poor decision on Leto's part. Obviously, Raban's got gas here. Pop the favorite subject just in case Raban gets any ideas. Harvest Cells is a bit unfortunate here. But having the tiebreak could be useful. So he's going to go up 3 to 7. We can beat that. Oh, no, he takes the opulence instead. Okay. Well, that's kind of a bummer in the sense that we wanted the opulence. What about Test of Humanity? I don't know. I mean, I guess the question becomes, could we get a point out of Ixian Engineer? I think I could. I don't know if it's... probably be pretty inconvenient. So... Would we rather have Test of Humanity, or would we rather detonate and try to get a good 6? Yeah, this is a dang good card. I think I'm gonna detonate. Let's try to get something nice. Stilgar is good enough. And definitely we don't want Orban getting anywhere near that card. So I don't think that Leto has a combat card, because if he had one, he would have used it last round, right? Took last round. I don't think anyone played any cards. And maybe he was so far behind that it didn't matter. Right? Like, let's take a look at that. So it doesn't tell me the daggers. We'll take a risk. We'll get half the spice back if he's got something. And it does push Raban down the stack. Yeah. That's a bummer. Yuck, man. What the hell is with these intrigue cards? I mean, genuinely, this is some absolute garbage. Okay, so what are we doing here? Well, we need High Council, which means we need more Solari. We're just going to Fold Space. Fold Space to Fold Space. I guess. Problem is, we probably want a Highliner in the late game, so, like, I don't really want to go to that spot right now. I also don't want to go to Wealth, because that's what the Imperial Spy is for. Could scientific break through the research station. It's not a horrible idea. Gives us some spice. Let's just do it. Open up our options. Oh. That opulence really, I think, seals the game for Beast. Especially because Leto doesn't, like, it's round 5 and he doesn't have the money somehow to deny Swordmaster. So now he's going to get Swordmaster probably, or he's just going to buy the points straight out. Well, given that our cards are so bad, we can take this action right here. My God, which one do you even get rid of? Probably Diversion. We want to deploy to the combat if we want to use Stilgar. We have no troops. No Highliner access. No Water to Hardy Warriors. I don't see how we get troops. I guess we go to a city. Seems a little inefficient. Especially because we want to get the Harvest Cells to go off. I don't know, maybe we're fold spacing here to, like, Carthag. Maybe we're going Mentat, but Mentat slows down the dispensation, but maybe dispensation is dead end because we can mulligan. I don't know, man. I probably should be taking troops here from my specimen. Is probably the real answer to this kind of these questions. So we go fold space to Mentat, we draw 2, and we keep some strategic flexibility. But if we draw the Imperial Spy, it's kind of a dead card. It's only a 1 in 6 that we draw it, though. Okay, well, whatever. Spice Must Flow is still good, right? Alternatively, we could go Conspiring. That accomplishes multiple things that we want. It's inefficient in the sense that we have to go to Imperial Basin to do it. But we probably still get an SMF because we draw a Signet Ring. We get research out of it. We get troops. There's a lot of things to like about that play. Main problem is we get more intrigue cards than we can use. And we're going last next round, so we can't use them. Let's open Experimentation to Basin. Why not just play Stilgar then? If we're not going to be in the combat, why not play Stilgar to Stillsuits and go back up to 2 water? That seems better. We can pressure the Fremen Alliance. It'll get us in position to cash out the Scientific Breakthrough next time we see it. I think that's better than playing the Experimentation. The only problem is it does cost us an SMF to play Stilgar. Right? Like, almost certainly. If we play Stilgar and we also play Experimentation, that's 3 Persuasion, so we definitely don't get an SMF. Maybe just better to get the SMF. Let's just do this. Yeah, it's not great for our water supply, but whatever. And we're gonna mulligan the Dispensation because I have no Solari. You have to be kidding me, dude. What is with these these entry cards are so bad, dude. They're so bad. Like, Harvest Cells is the best card we've seen, and that's kind of pathetic. I guess we saw favorite subject. Favorite subject is pretty good. But we got rid of the Dispensation, so now I don't know that we want a High Council, or that we want to Conspire anymore. And if we use the Imperial Spy, we're going to go to 5 Intrigues. We have a useless intrigue card, a card we can't use at the moment, a card that we can't use at the moment. We're almost certainly getting stolen from. So maybe, well, no, because if we play Stilgar again, we still don't get what we want. I could just play Diplomacy to Stillsuits, and then I at least have a water, and then we have some flexibility on Spice for later. Kind of hurts to reveal Stilgar for no daggers, but whatever, I guess. What else could we do? Could play Signet Ring. That doesn't seem very good. Because there's 4 cards in the deck, the SMF is getting shuffled back in. Well, occupation is interesting, but I don't think it's good enough. Although, if we play Stilgar, we can still afford it. Okay, just kidding. For a second there, I thought we were going to change our path, but that's not what's going to happen. So... Diplomacy to still suits, or Imperial Spy to conspire? I think this is the higher variance play, but also generally the weaker play. The first thing we do, we bypass protocol, the dissecting kit. That flushes our hand a little bit and gives us new information. Does that make conspire less bad? Yeah, I guess. Pushing for Freeman Alliance does make the possibility of spy satellites more appealing. Let's just get the water. Armand does have shifting, though. But he's not going to draw it for a while, so yeah. Oh, no. This cost us an SMF. I can't do this. Oh, my God. I was supposed to play diplomacy here. Oh, my God. Okay, Raban. And, of course, he's going to get the Bashar, which is kind of funny. I'm honestly not even mad. That's just kind of cool. Ahmad also with 8. Today's a big day to have 8 persuasion, isn't it? He's probably not going to buy anything. And this is all kind of garbage from his perspective. And it's also garbage from my perspective. I really was supposed to go to Still Suits Diplomacy. Oh, well, that's nice. Free shipping bump. Not getting SMF this round, probably going to lose me the game, although I was probably... What am I saying? Beast is kicking my ass either way. Well, at least we get a break from combat. Redraw the GCA is interesting. This hand's actually pretty terrible. Do we want to go for spy sets at this point? Just preemptively? I mean, I do, but the problem with that is that it's going to take away our ability to highliner potentially. Well, maybe not, because if we get Haga Basin, we're at 10 spice, so we had to have enough to do that. But we have to prioritize Haga Basin if that's what we're going to do. Interesting that Beast chooses not to go Interstellar here. All right, Leto, I need you to play the game right now. Party Warriors. That's bad for me in the sense that it challenges Fremen, which is something that I was kind of hoping to get. It's also bad in the sense that he's expending his military capital on an objective that doesn't matter because he's so far behind. There's a lot of issues here. Let's go ahead and do this. We could get even more spice, but I don't see that being necessary. Let's take the Scarab. Try to churn our way into more bad intrigue cards. Hope the tech negotiation doesn't get taken. Good news is we should get the second Scarab point no problem, but I think we're too far behind now for that to matter. Neither of these guys have enough spice to buy a tech, so they shouldn't actually be going for technologies here. Or tech negotiation, I mean. Unless they're just defensive on their persuasion. Do we take the GCA to fold space? I don't know. It doesn't seem like the right call, but we don't really have good options. I guess we could take her to, like, Siege Tabor. Carthage is the higher variance and probably stronger play. Because what do we need water for at this point? More research stations, maybe? Well, doesn't matter. We don't have a choice. Carthage is taken. And so is... Okay, I think we're about to lose this game. That makes the play to still suits really bad. Spy sets will help a little bit, but not enough. And now we can't siege Tabor either. I guess taking GCA to smuggling is better than revealing her. There's no need to take her to fold space now that we have spy sets. It's really funny that Beast is just like winning this combat on a whim, even though it does nothing of value to him. And it was something that Leto actually invested in. Leto's, yeah. He's been bad for himself and bad for me this game, that's for sure. I could take GCA to Imperial Basin. I think that's just worse than smuggling by quite a bit. Especially because Beast wants to smuggle. Discard a card? I mean, sure. Yeah, let's get rid of the dagger. The good news is that I'm the only person positioned to go to Highliner next round. The bad news is that there's only one card in the deck that actually goes there. And it's not on top of the deck, so there's, you know, there's a 4 and 8 chance, not 4 and 8, but there's not a great chance that we get there. So could Armand outscale Beast? Yes. If the game goes long enough, Armand will win the game instead of Beast. Which doesn't leave me in a good position because if the game ends quickly, then Beast wins, and if the game ends slowly, then Armand wins, and I don't. There's not really a scenario where I win here, I don't think. I don't know. Paul is... Yeah, you have to get truly amazing cards, I think, to make him make sense. I did make a misplay on the Spice Must Flow, but if you add a Spice Must Flow to my score, I'm still half of Armand's score. I guess I shouldn't say that. I have spy sats. So you can think of me as being at 6. Brutal. It's one of those times when being first is kind of a big disadvantage. I'm just playing by far the worst leader at the table. And then even if I highliner, well, Beast is still going to beat me in the combat. I did draw the Diplomacy, which helps, but I don't have any combat cards. Diversion is interesting, actually. Diversion actually helps here. Harvest Cells is a thing. We have a scientific breakthrough point. So, like, I don't know. We're not miserably behind. If we win the combat, we actually might be able to make something happen. That's an if, but, you know, it's doable. We have to reveal Stilgar, though, I think is pretty clear. And unfortunately, our spy satellites don't mean a whole lot if we have to play this Imperial Spy. One of the big advantages of spy satellites is you don't have to go to Emperor. And, well, we're not going to be able to get that advantage, are we? Suppose we could reveal it for a dagger. Maybe one dagger makes a difference. Probably not. In the deck is a convincing, our dissecting kit, our signet ring, a few useful things. I mean, I like seeing those two fight for an alliance, I guess. Do these matter? I don't think so. If I had gotten if I had gotten the Spice Must Flow 2 rounds ago, then maybe for the Holtzman, but yeah, I don't know, man. Leto's just like out to speed in this game, I think. Although he could win the combat, right, if he has the right intrigue cards. After Highliner, we're going to be the only person with 2 water, so we can also hit up Research Station with the breakthrough for a possible Spice Must Flow. More spice. Solari helps us Mentat. Probably more spice. From because we have spice sats, so we gotta push what we can. Deploy 2 more. And in an emergency, if a situation looks like that Beast isn't actually competing, we could take Stilgar to Fremen. But I don't trust myself to win the combat with 14 strength, so I don't know. Okay, so Armand steals the alliance from Beast. I would say that puts things more definitively in Armand's court, at least for now. Beast also doesn't have the opulence money at the moment. It's tough to see how we're going to beat Armand here. He's got 3 alliances. So Leto just playing defensive, which at his score is probably not the right call. Defending the 1 point you have on Fremen is not going to win you the game. However, Hardy Warriors is definitely going to help. So let's go ahead and Research Station. So we start by researching so it doesn't go away when we That just draws us the whole 9 yards. Trash it for a point. We've got another Scarab on reveal here. Right now we're jumping ahead of Leto's daggers, but we don't know what he's got in hand is the problem. So we should try to find another way to get troops in. You know, Signet Ring to either Arakeen or Siege Tabor seems like a good idea. Okay, don't have a choice on that one. The good news is he's actually playing the Bashar, which means he's not going to get double artillery here. Bad news is that at 8 base strength before reveal, it's going to be really hard to beat him. Because he's going to reveal like 12 daggers. And I just don't have anything. I mean, I have Stilgar, and that's nice, but this might be a situation where like if Siege Tabor gets taken, we might have to play the Imperial Spy, just to hope for a combat card, you know. But then at that point, the spy sets are basically doing nothing. So, I mean, it's not a reason to shy away from a play that might win us the combat. It's just unfortunate commentary on the situation. Esmar is actually kicking ass here because he's giving Armand the space on the guild to where he can use his shifting. The troop deployment is interesting. It implies that maybe he has some combat juice in hand. Leto to 16. Okay, so we do beat that. So I think Siege Tabor is better here, and the reason is because it blocks Beast or Armand from going to Siege Tabor, which is one of the only deployment spaces left. They don't have spice or water, so they can't go to the desert spaces. So I think Signet Ring, Siege Tabor here is the correct play. Reverend Mother for more spice. Well, at least we'll be able to crack the spy stats if all else fails. We are going to mulligan into, not mulligan, but we are going to reveal into an intrigue card up here. So there's something there. Beast to 8. So he probably wins the game this round if he gets the combat. But so would Armand. If I win the combat, then I'm still kind of behind everybody else. I'd be at 9 points at that point. I basically have to win the combat in order to break even with these guys. We're actually going to get a point from the Scarab track from the Harvest Cells. So we would be at 10. Actually 11 because the spice was slow. So we're not that far behind. Shamarki means we would win tiebreakers. So we're actually deceptively close to winning. But we need a lot of stuff to go right, basically. And by a lot of stuff, I mean the combat. Sure, right now it says we win the combat, but I don't trust that that's actually what's going to happen. I think Beast or Armand have got a trick up their sleeve. Beast in particular. But why would he play as Bashar if he could win the combat? Like, maybe he didn't have a choice. Maybe it was like his only city access. Oh, that's unfortunate. Okay, so Harvest Cells takes me to 7. Combat would take me from 7 to 9. Spy Sats, I can't crack it and still... Yeah, like, maybe I would win this round, but, like, that requires somebody else to get to 11. So, it's not what we're going to do. And it also loses us points in the long run at the moment. Well, if we get a Spiceman's Flow next round, Holtzman into advanced weaponry is maybe a thing, but that seems like a bit of a stretch. Okay, Beast, let's see what you got. Drop the pants. Let's see the big reveal. What you packing? He's not packing a Spice Must Flow or any combat gems, actually. And Armand's not going to be able to jump me by 10 daggers. So, it looks like we're going to round 8. Now, if Armand gets a Spice Must Flow and has, like, some kind of point in hand, that's a scenario where I win. But that doesn't look like what's happening. But now I'm actually more confident, because the Chimerki, he's at 10, but again... Like, that's not enough. If he has Spice Must Flow, it'd be perfect for me. He doesn't. That's the problem with Spy Satellites, is you lose control of the pace of the game a little bit. Sure, it's very efficient, but you make yourself very vulnerable to Armand de Kaz. Oh, okay. So, actually, we do win then, I think. Unless he's got an endgame point, in which case we lose. Unless I'm missing something. 8 plus 3 is 11, yeah, I mean... And we would win with Spice, even if it weren't for the Chimerki, so I don't know why he would do that. He must have an endgame point. If he has plans within plans, like I said, the game, I mean... Plans within plans games just generally don't even count for anything, but he doesn't qualify for CTM, I don't think. Oh, but he doesn't know I have Harvest Cells, so that's why he'd be willing to do it. Wow. I can't believe I won that. Oh my god. That's crazy, dude. Okay, so here's the thing. If I was playing this game on my tablet, I would have lost for sure. I think that playing on a computer causes me to think more about my plays because I'm narrating them and play more effectively. Because this game, I'm going to be real, part of the reason I stuck with this game is because I've uploaded only wins recently. And I don't win every game. It's just I haven't recorded a loss in a while. And I guess that's because... of that effect where I just play so much better when I'm recording. Well, it's sweet to win a game with Paul. That was really interesting, actually. So now we have to ask ourselves, was the Stillsuit Stilgar play a misplay? Because we did end up winning, and I think the answer is still yes. I think it was still a mistake. Because we ended up 3 water, right? So, like, it's not as if we needed the water that badly. Like, taking Diplomacy to Stillsuits instead, okay, we're down 1 water. So what? Right? Yeah, what a close game. Armand, it's funny, he actually did that to himself, right? And he played the kind of game that is, as Armand myself, I would love to play. Esmar, I think it was Esmar round 1. Esmar, Slurp, I mean, just a beautiful, well-played game from Armand. Until he used the... Well, I don't know. I was going to say until he used the... staged incident, but like, what are the odds that I would be able to win the game. I guess I would also beat him if I had Demand Respect, right? If I Demand Respect, then I'd steal the Fremen Alliance and I still beat him. So the safer play for Armand is actually not to play the card and just be confident that you're going to win the next round, because in the next round, right, like, well, he's already got 3 alliances though, so how much room does he really have to gain points on me? Yeah, I don't know. Let me know in the comments if you think playing the Staged Incident was right or wrong there. Does he have 2 SMFs? He has 1 SMF, so he could gain points from, like, Holtzman. He'd have to get some extra spice to make it happen, but he's already got 3 alliances, so it is kind of like, well, how much more is he going to grow his score at this point? Maybe if he wins the combat, but he's not going to win the combat. And Beast has an opulence, so Beast actually might end up printing more points in the long run. And the cards are bad for Slurp, so I don't know. Maybe he made the right play from his perspective. But Harvest Cells is not the only card that would do that. Gruesome Sacrifice would have the same effect, because I was winning by so much I could Gruesome Sacrifice and still win. Yeah. Well, turns out you can win a game even if you have god-awful intrigue cards. MVP card, I'm going to say, was... GC actually did some really good work here. Those 2 shipping bumps are no... Those, or those 3. I think it might have been 3 shipping bumps were no joke. And then the Scientific Breakthrough, I think, was the real MVP here. Like, giving us all that research progress and a point, right? Like, look how far ahead we are on research of everybody else. So it's not just the point that the Breakthrough gave us, it's also the extra Scarab, it's the extra Intrigue Mulligan and card draw, it's the Solari, which we, to be fair, didn't immediately use, but this is the path we took, so these are the benefits. So it's two Scarabs, right? Like, so that's really like 2-point swing at a minimum. Anyway, that's enough of me rambling about the end of the game. I will promise to upload a loss eventually. I just need to actually get one.